Closed captioning for the Let's Dine Out show provided by Holiday Cafe, your neighborhood diner with 2 locations in Ontario and Mr. D's Diner in Laverne. Ready to satisfy your hunger and budget? Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, providing installation, maintenance, and repair of heating and air conditioning systems for home and businesses throughout the Inland Empire. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, 5-star comfort for 4 generations. SanbornsAC.com. And viewers like you, supporting local public television. Thank you.
I'm food critic Alan Borgen, member of the Southern California Restaurant Writers. I've been finding the best restaurants in the Inland Empire and Southern California for over 27 years. This is my job. This is my passion. Let's dine out. Hello, foodies. We got a great show for you today. First, we're off to Riverside for some mouth-watering grub at Anchos Southwest Grill and Bar. Then we travel to Redlands for a unique and delicious twist on Vietnamese cuisine at Watercress Vietnamese Bistro. Say goodbye to your diets, folks.
Located on Hull Avenue in Riverside, Anchos Southwestern Grill and Bar has been offering a fantastic array of foods reflecting the marvelous cuisines of our southwestern states with heavy influences from Mexico since 1989. The large dining room has a festive Pueblo-style ambiance, while a fresh flour tortilla-making machine is out in the open for all to see. Everything is made fresh daily, including some of the best tasting and addicting roasted ancho chili salsa you will find anywhere. All of the meats, seafood, and poultry items are grilled over mesquite wood. In addition to the delicious food, friendly service, and affordable prices, you can also enjoy your favorite alcoholic beverage from their large full-service bar. Under the direction of Dean Bergstrom and Pepe Padilla, Anchos remains one of the Inland Empire's stellar restaurants.
Anchos tends to be something a little bit different. We're not your traditional Mexican restaurant. We use a lot of products from the New Mexico area. We bring our chilies in from Bueno Foods in Albuquerque in New Mexico. We don't outsource any of our prep. It's all done in-house. That's been one of the pillars of our restaurant, our business plan since we've opened. We've stuck to that. We've been here for 25 years. Our guests have always told us, Dean, whatever you do, don't change a thing. So we don't change.
Alan, I have been eating at Anchos for 23 years. I know that kind of dates me. I don't want to sound like I'm too old. But I love this restaurant. And this is one when we first talked and you were asking me about where my favorite places to eat. What did I say?
You said it's one of your favorites.
It is. It's my family's absolute favorite place to come. So
I've been coming here before they opened. I drove by one day and they were building it, and I met the owner. So I'm going to outdo you.
He has to up me by 2 years.
Also, I want to let them know you have a really bad voice.
I do.
You're in between different things. So during it, if it's okay, I know you're into honey. So let me feed you a little honey here. Okay.
Soothes my throat.
Better? Okay.
So I won't sound so froggy. I apologize.
I remember Little Rascals Froggy. So.
I know. I have that froggy voice.
Well, let's get into it.
The first dish we had was Anchos Nachos. We chose to get this with mesquite grilled steak. You can get it with chicken or without if you want. It's $12.99 if you get the steak. I highly suggest the steak. I love the presentation on this. First of all, they set each chip individually. Top it with the cheese. Top it with the most beautifully prepared piece of steak. Succulent, juicy, all arranged neatly around the plate. Then they have the accoutrements, the guacamole, the pico de gallo, and the sliced jalapeno, and of course sour cream. To me, this is a winner. I love the flavors, the steak. I mean, you can't go wrong, and it's usually nachos are so messy. I like that it's just each chip is individually done.
It was presented very, well. And this is a whole meal, actually. I would
Oh,
order.
by far.
This is one of the things I would just come and order that. Anyhow, let's go on to our second one.
Yeah.
Now this is a meal of all meals. I've seen combination plates in my day, but nothing like this. This is the #1 combo plate, $15.99, and get a load of this, folks. This is
Yep.
amazing. First is 2 shredded stuffed chicken enchiladas.
Yep.
And it comes with a red and a green sauce. We call it
Or
a
either.
Christmas sauce.
Yeah, you can get either
Yeah, but
one.
you want to do both.
I agree.
Then they had, let's see, a crispy beef taco. They had a pork tamale.
Correct.
And a very large chili relleno. And it comes with rice and beans. Wow, all I can say is this is way too much food for one person. However, we kind of cleaned it up here. Shredded chicken enchiladas are great. Had a lot of chicken, nice flavor to it.
Yes.
I love the sauce and the cheese over it. That was excellent. The crispy beef taco, it was good. The time we had it kind of melted through, but when it was fresh and everything, it had a nice Christmas flavor to it. The beef was a little bit mild. However, their sauces. We talked about it in our voiceover.
Yes.
This sauce is amazing. They go in the kitchen, they roast the jalapeno chilies.
Yes.
So it's roasted chilies along with onions and all kinds of other stuff. And it's really, really good. Sometimes it's a little bit hotter than others, but that's the way chilies are.
Sure.
But you add that salsa over the taco, it's fantastic.
You had that salsa on anything, and it's
that's good.
fantastic.
It's really good. Then there was the tamale. To me, this was the weakest point. It was very dry. I like to see a sauce over it, or possibly just go ahead and put the sauce on it.
You can request the sauce, the red chili sauce or the green chili sauce on it, and a lot of people offer
Yeah, I would
it that
definitely
way,
do
so
it that
I would
way.
ask for it that way.
Then they had the large chili relleno, great chili relleno, stuffed with cheese. I think it was like 1.5 pounds of cheese. Just a nice flavor, and the sauce that accompanied that was excellent.
It was excellent. First of all, I have to say that chili relleno is the best chili relleno, in my opinion, that I've ever had. I love it.
Let's talk about the tortillas. Unbelievable. Flour tortillas, small, perfect enough
Yes.
to eat about 1 million of them.
My favorite thing to come here is that's the first thing. You sit down, you want those tortillas. Slather them with butter, roll it up, dip it in the salsa.
Oh, you know how to eat.
I know how to eat.
You're a queen eater.
And I've been coming here for 23 years.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I know. Hey!
No, it's a compliment. The way you eat, the way you savor it.
Sure. Try and save yourself now.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, so then next we had the costillas, $20.99. These were tender pork ribs with this succulent ancho barbecue sauce. And it's funny, after all the years of dining here, I have never had these. The owner came to me and he said, "Have you tried these before?" And I was like, "Of all the dishes, this is one I have not tried," and I'm so glad I did. They slow cook these for 6 hours in the oven with love. Then they take them out, they put them on the mesquite grill so they get that mesquite flavor, and they slather them with the most delicious barbecue sauce. I asked them, "Did you bottle that? I want to take it home." I believe they said it's chipotle, it's coffee, black pepper, vinegar. I think I taste molasses in there. I don't know.
The ribs are good. I'm partial because I like smoked ribs. To me, it was a little bit underwhelming. They don't put a rub on it. They just stick it in the oven and slowly cook. So in terms of having a little bite to it and falling off the bones, it did. But to me, it needed more than just the sauce. I think the meat itself, there was some underneath the slab where you taste the meat, it had no flavor. So I would either add a rub to it. That was only my big beef.
I
The
disagree.
sauce should complement the meat.
I disagree. I think they
Okay,
were
well, that's-
fantastic. Must get.
Okay.
Okay, next we
Then
have.
we had a fish special. This is a $20. This is amazing. This is an 8 to 9 ounce fresh big fillet of fresh ahi. Yes, fresh ahi. It was mesquite grilled, and now usually ahi comes
Seared.
This is cooked all the way. When
Yeah.
I first heard that rather, I was like, oh no, it's going to be really, really dry.
Right.
Which ahi can.
It's a thick fish. It's a,
Yeah.
it's a steak, you know.
But it was perfectly cut.
It
I mean,
really
it was
was.
moisture. It had moisture to it. It was a nice flaky, but it was just perfectly cooked. Now it comes with 4 different types of.
Well, you can choose. You can ask for a little of each if you want. It comes with usually one,
I
but
was
you
going
can
to say
choose them.
I would do all 4.
I would too.
One was a ginger garlic.
Ginger lime
I'm sorry,
garlic.
ginger lime garlic. One was a cilantro lime butter.
Right.
A mango salsa, and the ancho barbecue sauce. The mango sauce I thought was wonderful. It had the flavor. It really added to the fish a lot.
It would be the healthiest choice.
Yeah,
Since they're all
cilantro
butters.
lime was good. The ginger lime was good. They both needed a little bit more ginger. The other one needed a little more lime.
I think the fun part is to get them all and keep dipping in the dip,
Yeah.
to find which one you like the best. Because honestly, they're all so good.
Well, I'm a dipper and you're a dipper too.
You know, so we love that. So
And
that's
again, it comes with rice and beans and the
unlimited
chips
tortillas,
and
chips, and salsa. Next, we have the Anchos Classic Steak Fajitas, $36.99. Now, folks, this is for 2. This is a huge portion. It's about a pound of. It's the outside portion of the skirt steak. It's perfectly grilled on that mesquite grill. So good. They marinate it, and he was saying they do it in soy sauce, pineapple juice, and red wine, and they just dip it and then grill it.
Yeah, it's not really marinated. It's more like drenched in it.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
drenched,
They go right
just to
into
kind of
it.
let it kind of fire on the grill. This steak, folks, is so juicy, so tender. You must get something steak if you come here. That's my recommendation. This is perfectly cooked. It comes with red pepper, which I love because it's a little sweeter, and onions that are very caramelized. And of course, it comes with tortillas and chips and salt. I mean, it just
And
the
it comes
goodies.
on a beautiful sizzling plate.
It
so
does.
The aromas just fill the whole dining room.
Guacamole, pico de gallo, beans and rice.
This is definitely you're not your ordinary fajitas. This is very special. Next comes the Camarones Alhambras, $17.99. Wow, this is 5 jumbo shrimp. Now it's filled with a small strip of or stuff rather with jalapeno and a little bit of cheese, wrapped in bacon and grilled. Unfortunately, when it comes out, the chili remains there, but the cheese kind of melts out, so you don't get a whole big.
Well, it melts onto it. It kind of
Well,
caramelizes.
it
It's
comes
not-
out a little bit,
yeah.
and succulent shrimp. I mean, large jumbo shrimp can be a little tough. These weren't.
These are not.
Really good.
I love these. I mean, I think it has to do with they're dipping them in this garlic butter. So, but the bacon, the saltiness of the bacon, the little bit of spiciness from the chili. Again, the cheese, you don't really taste the cheese, but then that butter garlic.
The last entree was the seafood enchiladas, $13.95. This is 3 nice sized enchiladas filled, and I mean filled,
Yeah.
with really succulent sweet shrimp, real crab, not this imitation
Right.
garbage, and had garlic butter in it. They were sauteed with it.
Yes.
Then they roll it up, and then it has a Christmas sauce and cheese. Lots of cheese on it,
Yep.
and a little bit clump of sour cream. Spectacular. You know, real crab. There's nothing like it. And again, for this price, $13.95.
Crazy.
Between the shrimp sizes
Yeah.
and everything else, great deal.
Their food is loaded with the protein in it. You know, these enchiladas had so much seafood in there. And of course, sauteed in garlic butter. Yum. What's not to love?
Everything the portion size, in comparison to the quality of the food and everything, and comparison to what you paid for, is very fair.
Correct. And of course, you can eat chips and salsa to your heart's desired. And I
You
do.
tried. I was being nice. You
Butter
tried.
and tortillas, yes, for sure.
Then they have a few desserts.
We decided to have the ancho fudge pie with ancho chili a la mode. That's kind of a mouthful,
I know.
especially when you have a bad throat. Okay, so this, think chocolate chip cookie kind of ish pie. It's walnuts, pecans, brown sugar, cinnamon, and then they use an ancho chili paste and then chocolate chunks. So it's like an elevated chocolate chip cookie pie, I guess. And then they use ice cream, and it's a vanilla bean, but it has a little cinnamon in it, so it has kind of a nice little flavor profile. I liked it. I didn't go nuts over. It's not my usual like flavor profile explosion love.
I like
but
the crispiness of it. Had a nice crunch to it.
Yeah.
It was moist inside. I like to see a little more of the ancho chili. I like to see it more robust
yeah,
afterglow.
we talked about maybe doing like a ancho chili glaze, like a chocolate sauce
Yeah,
or something.
Just give more heat
Yeah,
to it.
it's a little dry.
Right.
Yeah, but I liked it. I've had their key lime pie and it is amazing. I've also had their flan, amazing. So you know,
You've had
you
most
can't go wrong.
everything, so.
I have had just about everything on this menu. So
What were
yes.
some of your favorites here?
Well, obviously the steak fajitas, always a winner. I absolutely loved the camarones alhambres. I love the bacon wrapped shrimp, so good. And I'm gonna go with the nachos. Love food.
Good choices.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 I had.
Yeah.
Ancho's classic fajitas, fantastic. What I liked about it is you can do a lot of things with it.
Yes.
It's not just the plain fajitas,
Correct.
and just the meat was by itself was excellent.
Perfect.
So if you're on a low carb diet,
Absolutely.
forget the carbs.
Yeah, you don't
forget
need the tortillas. You
Tortillas
can-
by itself.
Yes.
The camarones alhambras, bacon and shrimp all go together. I like the little flash of heat
Yes.
from the jalapeno, small little strip. That
I
was very
agree.
nice. And the garlic butter really made it
Yes.
special.
Yep.
And lastly, the seafood enchiladas. I love real crab. I love the whole idea of the garlic butter with the shrimp and the cheese and the Christmas sauce, and just fantastic. I'll tell you, this was an incredible meal. I can't wait to take a lot of this home. And
You're not taking it home. I'm taking.
No,
I've got kids at
no.
home.
You don't understand.
Can I
What
get
the
a
hell-
box,
No.
please? I need a box.
Anyway, we'll decide this afterwards. But where are we going next?
We're going to Vietnamese down in Redlands.
Watercress Vietnamese Bistro. Okay, we're done. Quick, can I have some boxes?
Here, I need my
Dean,
tea.
about
Here,
20
honey.
boxes, please. I want to have it, and I get the food.
Tucked away in the Stater Brothers Shopping Center on the corner of Barton Road in Alabama and Redlands is Watercress Vietnamese Bistro, a great addition to the local foodie scene. Once you walk in, you'll feel immediately at ease with the zen-like music, fresh green color accents, real orchids on every table, and traditional Vietnamese photographs and artwork that adorns the walls. Owners Duke Lee and Dr. Nguyen invite you to share the wonderful, rich cuisine Vietnam has to offer.
Okay, from Riverside, here we are to Redlands.
Redlands.
Not that far away. It's kind of about 10, 15 minutes only.
Yeah, very quick.
Good, the construction's over with. I'm happy about that.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a restaurant. I've known Duke for about 15, 20 years. I mean, literally, we reviewed his restaurant way back when. And it's a really neat restaurant. It's not real traditional. It's more, again, bistro, kind of upbeat, upscale.
Yeah.
But great platings and incredible amounts of food and very, very different.
It's very creative. So I think you're in for a treat.
So you ready for the first dish?
Very much so.
You know, over the years, people always make fun of me because I don't pronounce the words. I've never been to Vietnam. I can't speak Vietnamese. I don't think you can either, right?
No.
So we have a little special treat for you. Duke, one of the owners, is going to be talking about the dishes and pronouncing it the way it should be pronounced. So just to let you know that. So you ready for the first dish?
Very, very much so.
Let's start with a unique soup.
Soup bap.
$7. This is a creamy corn soup. It has leek flavor in it. I love this soup. You know, I'm not feeling super well today. And this is just comfort. There's something so familiar about these flavor profiles that I love in this soup. You have the creamy corn and then you have that leek background in it, so it has that nice taste. Then they put some chili oil on it. So it gives you that heat in the background.
Yeah.
And then they put it with microgreens on it. And then there's the perfect little chicken dumplings in there, just little pockets of love.
3 dumplings.
3 dumplings. And seriously, I absolutely love this soup. I cannot say enough about it. I gobbled it up over and over and over.
It was real nice. I like to see this soup a little more pureed. It reminded me of cream of corn.
Yeah, it has a texture.
I think more pureed, more velvety would be great.
I would agree with you on there, but the flavors were spot on, and again, that dumpling is such a little unexpected love. Yeah.
Exactly. Next up, a refreshing, healthy appetizer.
Gỏi cuốn.
Now this is $6. This dish consisted of rice paper that's stuffed with a choice of meats. We had chicken. It comes with rice noodles, sprouts, lettuce, mint, and it's served with a peanut hoisin sauce. What was nice about this, it was crisp layers of texture, and it was refreshing. I love mint with
Me too.
Vietnamese. I think use more mint than anybody else, and it just gives you a nice hint where it cools the whole palate, and it's just a delicious appetizer.
I agree. The bean sprouts are crispy and crunchy. The rice paper's a little sticky. The protein, whatever protein you get, would be delicious. I love the peanut sauce. It's very fresh.
It was really good. The chicken was excellent. It was like a teriyaki chicken.
It was delicious.
Sweet, really good. Here's another great appetizer.
Bánh xèo.
This was $7. This Vietnamese crepe was delicious. It had shrimp in it. We chose to have shrimp. You can get tofu. You can get a vegetarian version of it. Sprouts. There's onions in the crepe, and it's really crispy. And then they give you butter lettuce and cilantro and mint, and then there's a fish dipping sauce and cucumber. I just liked it. It was a very unusual texture, and I think I would even like it with tofu. I really do think I would like it. It was unusual. It was very crispy. It looked like an omelet.
Well, Vietnamese restaurants are typically the cuisine. It's hands-on experience.
It is. It's
and
very
healthy and light.
It is. So you just sort of rip a piece off and you take the butter lettuce and you put the crepe in there and the vegetables and the goodies and you eat it. And it's a mix of textures. It's very fresh. It's very clean tasting. I liked it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Now for a very popular entree.
Bò bít tết.
Now this is $22. This is coriander encrusted filet mignon. It's served with wok fried mushrooms, asparagus, red bell peppers, and a delicious reduced red wine mushroom sauce. I lose my breath over this. This was excellent. The steak,
really was.
You know, filet should be real tender and juicy. This was. The sauce was velvety smooth. They didn't put as much on as normal, from what you see on the screen. But ask for it. You definitely got to ask for it.
Extra sauce.
Really rich and creamy and just really, really good. Here's a traditional Vietnamese dish that you'll find at every Vietnamese restaurant.
Cá kho tàu.
Now this is $15. This is pieces of catfish cooked in a clay pot with a sweet, savory black pepper sauce with pickled carrots, daikon, bok choy, and it comes with a choice of rice. This was stupendous. I love this. In most Vietnamese restaurants I've had it, it's been whole pieces of catfish,
Right.
bones and all. This
Yeah.
wasn't. This was pieces of it.
Yeah.
But it was just delicious. You know, catfish can be a little musty tasting. This was, but it's definitely worth it. And the sauce was just like, wow, nice, sweet, savory, so good.
I agree. I'm not a huge fan of catfish, but the flavors were great. I was appreciative that it didn't have an eyeball looking up at me out of the bowl, but I liked it. It was manageable pieces. I love the flavors. I thought the contrast with the vegetables were perfect. It was
Also,
delicious.
I highly recommend. There's different rices you can get. Get the brown rice.
Yes.
It's nutty. It's spectacular.
I
so,
agree.
Good stuff. Now for a great Vietnamese sandwich.
Banh mi.
This was $7, and I love this. This is the Vietnamese version of a hoagie, I guess, or an American Subway sandwich. Just delicious. There's that crispy baguette. Then they have a grilled pork that's inside there, daikon, cilantro, and then they have a slice of cucumber, and then this serrano chilies underneath there, and a little bit of carrot, and then they have mayonnaise on there, and it comes with sweet potato fries. And I love the flavors, the crunch. You know, the meat is tender, the crispiness of the bread, the vegetables are so, and I love cucumber on a sandwich. I don't know why, but I do. And that little bit of chili, the little bit of the serrano
and the pickled
chili.
carrots too.
Yeah.
What's nice about this is that it had substance to it. Most banh mi's, they don't have. The sandwiches
Right.
are it's all bread.
Right.
And which isn't a bad thing, but for $7, it's well worth
The
it.
ratio of meat and
Oh,
fillings
it's
is
probably the
perfect.
largest portion of meat and fillings I've seen in any Vietnamese restaurant.
Yeah, and I like the sweet
So.
potato fries. I thought they were fun. I would suggest a dipping sauce, though. I wanted to dip them in something.
do dipping.
I know, I want to dip.
Okay. And here's a real sizzling dish.
Bò lúc lạ.
Now this is $16. This is wok fried cubes of flank steak with a butter soy sauce with onions, garlic chips. It's served on a sizzling platter. As soon as it comes to your table, the aromas, it's like fajitas. But this is large
Yes.
chunks. Melts in your mouth, delicious flavor profiles of butter and soy. Again, the French influence is
Yes,
definitely in this dish.
for sure.
Simple, grilled onions and the pepper and the steak.
And the garlic chips. I think that was such an unusual
yeah.
addition. The meat was perfectly tender. The seasoning, I took a bite of that and I was like, wow, that's a flavor explosion.
Speaking of wow, this is a truly delicious dish, and I try to figure out in Vietnamese, and again, I couldn't do it. So, Duke, how do you say this dish in Vietnamese?
Passion fruit cheesecake.
Wow, shocking. This was $7, and really the best $7, in my opinion, that you can spend. You know, I'm not a huge cheesecake fan. It's not one of my desserts that I go to, but I love this. This cheesecake she makes is beautiful. It's plated so beautifully. It's creamy. It's sweet.
It's a little salty.
It's salty. It's even sour. And the cheesecake blends so perfectly with the reduction of the passion fruit sauce. It has everything going for it. I cannot stop eating it.
Well, they have a lot of other different desserts that
Oh
are
my
wonderful.
gosh.
That you definitely got to come for that.
Yeah.
But they also let you know, on occasions when the market price isn't crazy, they have lobster. Live lobster.
Yes.
And we're talking a pound and a half lobster. What you see on the screen now, this is a 4-pounder. That's the lowest one they can find, the smallest one. But it's incredible. It's woked with garlic and butter and a little seasoning.
tempura fried first, yeah.
Really good. Also, look out for an incredible breakfast that's coming sometime in August, September. We're not sure yet. Saturday and Sunday, very unique breakfast items. I was lucky enough to see the advanced copy of it. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
So, okay, Tricia, a lot of good food here. What are some of your favorites?
Well, obviously that dessert, there's like one bite left that I'm going to save for my last thing that I eat tonight. I would have to say the bo lak lak,
Sizzling
the
steak.
sizzling steak, and I'm going to say the cream of soup, the cream of leek soup, corn leek soup.
Okay, well, mine was a Vietnamese crepe. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I like the clay pot fish. I love catfish
Great
and
flavor.
the wonderful flavor to it. And I also really like the banh mi. It was a just simple sandwich with a lot of flavors and texture. And for $7, you can't go wrong
Yeah,
with
it's the best lunch ever.
it. Good stuff. I'm really glad we came here. This is a
Yeah.
restaurant that deserves attention. It's not your typical Vietnamese restaurant.
Right.
And for those people out there who've never had Vietnamese food, it's not Chinese, it's not Japanese, it's really refined Asian cuisine. And this is something that's very important for this area. And
Yes.
I love Vietnamese food, and this is a great restaurant.
I agree. You know, Vietnamese food has all the comfort foods that you recognize. You know, it really does. It has all those elements. So it's flavors that you recognize with a little twist.
And Southwestern cuisine and Anchos. Can't get any better. So,
Amazing day.
you know, we've shown you some great food, some great restaurants. Now it's your turn to go out and try them. You be the critics. Until next time, this is food critic Alan Borgen.
And Trisha Jansen.
Happy eating, everybody.
Let's dine out.
Closed captioning for the Let's Dine Out show provided by Holiday Cafe, your neighborhood diner with 2 locations in Ontario and Mr. D's Diner in Laverne. Ready to satisfy your hunger and budget? Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, providing installation, maintenance, and repair of heating and air conditioning systems for home and businesses throughout the Inland Empire. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, 5-star comfort for 4 generations. Sanborn'sAC.com. And viewers like you, supporting local public television. Thank you.